doesn't fit. So if you ever want to know what somebody's lungs look like after they've been smoking for 40 years, just look inside of the intake on a vehicle that has exhaust gas recirculation. So on these trucks, you've got two things that can pollute the intakes on them. One is the EGR. So the exhaust gas is going to come from the exhaust manifold through this tube into the cooler if it's too hot, and that cooler is going to cool it off, and it's going to send it right back here into the intake. The intake's going to draw it through. It's going to go through the turbo, go through the charged air cooler, and all those places that carbon's going to get built up. When I stick my finger in here, this stuff is just a greasy carbon mess. So you can see that stuff comes out. It looks like the mud on the bottom of your engine after you've had an oil leak. Maybe that's why the turbo goes out. You can imagine if a piece of this breaks loose, if it hits that turbo fin, moving at however many RPMs, I would say 100,000 RPMs, it's going to mess that thing up. But looking at that 100,000 mile service, this thing's got an original crankcase filter on it. So that crankcase filter is going to take the gases coming out of the crankcase. It's going to send them right through here, back into the intake. As the turbo is drawing vacuum on the intake, it's going to pull that through when it's not under too much vacuum. So there is a spring inside here. If the turbo is drawing too much vacuum, that spring will close so you don't create too much negative pressure in the crankcase and cause an issue. But under idle or just cruising, when the vacuum level is low, it's going to draw those gases back into the intake. So if you look inside this intake, the crankcase gases come in right here. So the front side of this intake is completely fresh air. And if you look down here in the bottom, you'll see where the port comes through. And right where that port comes in, you'll see a big oily residue. You also see that oily residue right here on the bottom of the turbo. So you can see this right here. There's pretty good sludge built up. That's going to be some of your exhaust gas catching on there. If you've got dirt that's coming in from your air filter, that dirt's going to accumulate onto that oil that's inside there. You can even see after it comes out on the compression side of the turbo. So if you've got a diesel and you get to 100,000 miles, it's a good time to pull these parts off and clean them. You might spend some extra money doing that, but hey, if it saves you a turbo in the long run, it's a lot of money you can save.